There. I always forget to change it. Good morning, San Francisco.
Good morning, San Antonio. I don't know where you're at today.
What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Victoria Cabrera.
Sylvia Toscano.
And we are bringing you some Medicare information every Friday at 10 a.m. We're a little tired today because we had a little bit of a late dinner last night. And what did you eat, Sylvia?
I ate a Chateaubriand. We started out with, what did we eat? Steak tartare.
Ooh, steak tartare, escargot.
Barbecue. No, we didn't
Barbecue.
have that. I know. I'm still half asleep. Calamari. I was thinking they have barbecue octopus, but we didn't have that.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. That would have been a good one. So, well, yeah. So we're full. We had we had some wine, so we're a little tired. We had a lot of steak, so we were in a food coma last night. So, anyway, what are we going to talk about today, Sylvia?
Why don't we talk about SEPs? And
what are SEPs?
Special enrollment period. So there's so many. There's AEP. There is, what else is there? OEP,
SEP, OEP, AEP, IEP, ICEP, down to the OPP.
That's right. And so everybody's like, they don't know what they mean.
So
what is it?
So let's break it down for people that are listening and that, maybe they're not aware of, because we primarily talk about Medicare, issues and things that come up. And so right now we are in this time period, right? We're April 2nd, and we just came out of an open enrollment period for people that are on Medicare Advantage plans.
And what is open enrollment period?
Open enrollment period is a period where people can, if you are on a Medicare Advantage plan, you have this one-time opportunity to switch to another like plan change, like a Medicare Advantage plan. And so, when we come out of the annual enrollment, a lot of people that chose a plan during that time, maybe they weren't happy with what they had. Right. And so it was just kind of that one-time opportunity to change. But right now that's no longer here, right?
That's it. They're stuck with what they have,
but
not necessarily.
So what happens so right now, if you just tuned in, we're talking about people that are on Medicare and that are possibly on a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan, right? We're talking about, can people still change throughout the year? So we're going to discuss some of those things today, but primarily talking about, what do you want to start first with? Medicare supplement, Medicare Advantage? You want to go over some situations? What you want to do, girl? What you want to do?
What you want to do? How about just regular? I know
what's
I always
regular?
Tell you I have, let's just say I have Medicare, which I don't.
All right.
I'm young.
Yeah.
But okay. So I have Medicare, and I decided I didn't want anything. I didn't want insurance. I didn't want a supplement. All I have is just straight Medicare and a drug plan.
So you have original Medicare, prescription drug plan.
Yes. And so now I'm getting sick. I just found out that I am a diabetic.
Okay.
Or I found out that I might have a heart condition. And so I'm freaking out because now I'm supposed to go and have some MRIs and CAT scans and have all these tests. And I'm going to have to be paying 20%. And I just found out that if I go in the hospital with straight Medicare, $1,484. If you look in, I forgot the page number on the Medicare Bible, but it's 1,484. For the first day with just, so original I'm freaking Medicare. Out. I'm thinking, can I pick up a supplement? Can I pick up a Medicare Advantage plans, what's called Part C? Where do I go from here?
So what I would do in that case, if you came to me with original Medicare, you absolutely had nothing other than supplementing, no employer sponsored coverage, nothing else. I would probably recommend you don't want to rule Medicare supplement out just yet,
Right.
because there are still companies that they do look at when you're outside of your open enrollment period for a Medicare supplement. It's that one-time opportunity that you can get into a Medicare supplement with absolutely no health underwriting. But let's just say I don't know, 68, 69, and you come to me with original Medicare. I wouldn't rule out a Medicare supplement just yet, because you still have the potential of going through health underwriting and possibly being able to still get into a plan. So I would probably, if it's affordable, I'd probably start there.
Yep. And I think so too. And especially if you're even 67, 68, I've put people on the supplement at that age that are healthy. They're not taking any medication, or they haven't in the last couple of years.
Yep.
And they pass through underwriting. And so, and they could afford it, because remember, a supplement is on the side. You got your Medicare that the premium is $148 this year. And then there's supplement that, random, I think 121, more or less, depending on what
plan letter, what area they're in, what state, all that good stuff.
So yeah, I mean, if I could afford it, that would be my best option, because I wouldn't have to worry about co-pays except the deductible. But
yeah. So you always want to exhaust that. And just because you didn't pass the health underwriting with one insurance company,
right,
that doesn't mean you can't pass it with another. So I think I personally, if they came to me with that, I'd try to see if we can get them into a Medicare supplement.
Right.
Now, to the other part of that, let's just say the supplement companies were like, no, we don't, we can't accept you.
Right.
Denied.
Or I can't afford it.
Or you can't afford it. Exactly. What would be another opportunity for them, right? They didn't have anything. They came to you just with original Medicare.
Right.
What would be an option for them to do?
So a couple of options. A lot of time people think, oh my God, I don't have anything. I have to wait till annual enrollment, which is from October the 15th till December the 7th. But that's not the case. Medicare has a window of opportunities, or SEPs.
What's an SEP for people that are listening again?
So right now, SEP, special enrollment period. So if I didn't have Medicare and I do have a chronic condition, either diabetes or heart condition or diabetes, I can pick up an insurance plan.
Without saying any carrier names. Right. We can't say any carrier names here.
Because I have a chronic condition.
Yeah. So in certain areas, so like Medicare Advantage plans are based on your service area, basically the county that you reside in, right?
Where they're all different.
They're all different. So in certain areas, you might find a Medicare Advantage plan that may have what's it called, a special needs program, or special needs plan, where you can get into that particular plan based off of your, health condition. And it's not a long list of health conditions. It's specific towards those health conditions for that particular plan.
Right.
Usually cardiovascular, heart issues, heart conditions, and diabetes is what we see the most of.
And they'll verify it with the doctor to make sure that you do have one of these conditions. And so that's one way to go.
What's another one?
Another one would be low income.
Okay.
So it's called LIS, and LIS is low income subsidy.
Okay.
And that would be if I'm getting help with my prescriptions.
Okay.
That would allow me to pick up a plan. And the reason that is that Medicare thinks, all right, so this individual needs help with her prescriptions or needs help with her doctor bill. So we're going to allow her to pick up a plan out of the annual enrollment or open enrollment period. We're going to give her a special enrollment because she qualifies, because of her income, and because she's low income. We're going to allow her to pick up an insurance because financially, I need it. I need that extra help.
Yep.
So right there, that's a window of opportunity for me to pick up a plan.
How does one, I know we talked about a little bit about this week, but if I were this individual that came to you or me today, and they were like, well, heck, I don't have a a chronic condition. Well, let's just play devil's advocate here. They didn't pass the Medicare supplement, but for whatever reason, they didn't have a condition to get them into one of those special needs plans. And they do say, well, I don't know if I meet the qualifications for low income.
Right.
I don't know. How would they find that out? How would they know? Because the government's not just promoting this stuff, right?
Yeah, unfortunately not. And there's really not a lot of places that can go in there and even find out what the income is.
Mm-hmm.
But I help my clients. All they do is call, and if they tell me, I don't qualify for chronic needs,
Mm-hmm.
I ask them, do you mind if I ask you how much you make?
Mm-hmm.
What is your monthly income
Mm-hmm.
before they take out the Medicare Part B, the 148? How
Right.
much do you make? And just by them telling me how much they make, or both them and their husband, I can tell them you do qualify.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5-minute application
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
Social Security for the drug plan. That would
Gotcha.
help them. And once you apply for that, then that gives you the special enrollment period to pick up an insurance, to pick up a Part C, Medicare Advantage plan.
Because a lot of these people hear special election period, special needs plan, special OEP. It gets very, very, very confusing. And so if you're in a situation, the way we were going over an example of somebody just had original Medicare and they wanted to pick something else up because the costs were getting out of hand. And right now we're in April. So there's only limit of things that we can do. So we were ruling out a few options like Medicare supplement, and we were talking about some of the options as far as Medicare Advantage. But if you're in this situation, you don't want to rule yourself out, okay?
Right.
Because man, I remember when we would work, we would set up tables at the HEBs, or we would be in the client's home. And the first thing that we would ask them is, when we're doing our fact finding, looking at their medications, their doctors, and this and that, we would ask them, by any chance, has anybody ever told you about these extra programs that are available for people that are with limited financial resources? And a lot of them, right? There's so many people that qualify that they never just got the help.
Right.
And why do you think that is? What do you think that?
I think a lot of it, I got a call this week from a client of mine. And so she said they're calling them every day, advertise. They're getting stuff in the mail and on television saying, we can help pay your premium, and we can help you do this, and we can help you do that. And a lot of times they're thinking they probably want something. I'm going to call them and they're going to flip me insurance, which that's what they are. They want you to call and they want to help you apply for it, and then they want to move your insurance. It does happen a lot. And so a lot of people are a little leery of asking for help. A lot of people, especially with Medicaid, they keep hearing, if I apply for Medicaid, they're going to take away my house. So it's that fear of Medicaid or the state helping them with something, and they're thinking, I'm not going to get anything for free.
Yeah, because there's always, what we've always learned, that if something's too good to be true, it probably
is.
So I would say the rule of thumb there would be, anytime, don't rule yourself out, is what we're saying, is always reach out to a professional or a licensed agent in your area to ask these questions. For the most part, agents that are working in the Medicare space or with the Medicare space with us, they know that. But if they're working, with people on Medicare, the agent should know this. Unfortunately, there are a lot of new agents that are coming into the business, and maybe they were not trained correctly or educated correctly. So they're not passing this information on to the client. Right. And so I wouldn't make that decision for yourself and rule out that you don't qualify. If there's any time somebody feels like they have to choose between, getting food and paying for their medications, they probably do qualify for something.
Exactly. And there's always ways, I don't want to say to get around it, but to qualify for these benefits and not to be afraid where the state of Texas, once you pass away, that they're going to come and take care take away your house.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know, there's things that you can put in motion
Yep.
that if when that happens, they don't. And so these are things that you need to speak to somebody, you know, when if you call me and you feel like, you know, I do qualify, but I'm afraid they might take my house.
Mhm.
You know, at that time we can look at other things that will help you so that won't happen to you, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's ways around it. There is. And people, they're, you know, the fear of, you know, I've worked all my life. I have this little house and now they're going to take it away from me. Of
Mhm.
course, nobody wants that. And they didn't used to do that a couple of years ago, 10, 20 years ago. They didn't do that. And little by little, they started. So when they send the application for Medicaid,
Mhm.
it tells them in the
Mm.
very back, if you apply, if you qualify for any long-term health care,
Mhm.
then there is a possibility.
Mm.
And so it is. It happened to my brother's partner's parents.
Mm.
And then the state came in and they wanted $9,000 for the house
Man.
or they wanted them. So it's like, okay, we want this amount, sell to your house so we can get it. So they got an attorney because they did have the paperwork in order. But I mean, there's things that they can do to avoid this because
That's
it happens, you know?
yeah, and I think that's the fear, you know.
Yep.
But you know, maybe we'll get into specific low income programs in another one.
Right.
But we just want to let you know that if you're stuck in a situation where you're looking to change your health plan that you're not happy with, or get into a health plan because you need something to supplement those Medicare, that the coinsurance and deductibles that Medicare doesn't cover. There are options out there, and because we call it a lock-in. I mean, there's so many different
Right.
things that we call this, right? But right now, technically, we're in a lock-in specifically for Medicare Advantage and Part D programs if you're not new to Medicare. And so when you run into that situation where you want to get into a Part D program or a Medicare Advantage plan Part C, you have to have a reason why the reason why you're doing it now, a special reason,
Right.
hence
Special
the word
reason.
special enrollment period or special election period, right?
Right.
And so with Sylvia, the way we're talking about these low income programs, sometimes when you qualify for these low income programs through Social Security Administration or Medicare, or I'm sorry, Medicaid or the state, it allows you to get into a plan right now without having to have basically that's your ticket, right? To be
Right.
able to change your plan. So we do run into some situations. I mean, we always exhaust all of our, like, we're asking you so many questions because we're making sure we're exhausting all of those options. But there are times when we can't change somebody
Right.
right now, right? And
Right.
what do you do then? Like when you just they don't have low income, they're not chronic, they don't qualify for Medicare supplement, they've been living here all their life. What do you do?
I know. It's hard. The last day, remember I called you the other day,
Mm-hmm,
the particular person that I was with, the same thing. She wanted a supplement,
mm-hmm,
but she was already 70 years old. If I put her in the supplement, they would have had to underwritten her.
mm-hmm.
And so if she didn't get it, then she would have just been stuck
With original Medicare.
with original Medicare. And then she'd have to wait till next November
Mm-hmm,
to pick up a plan effective January of 2022.
mm-hmm,
Because there was going to be no option for her. She
Mhm.
wasn't low income. She didn't have any kind of
Health con-
special needs, conditions, or anything. So sometimes you have to just, you know, be the bearer of bad news and tell them you can't do anything. Either you sign today
Mhm.
or you can't go anywhere. You know, you're stuck with what you have, or you have to wait till next year, you know, till
Yeah.
January. And it does happen, few and in between.
Yeah. So we have to be, we do, when we do that for the best for our clients, right? Like, we're not just gonna let me see how we can make some money here. Like,
Right.
we are not. Yes, we do make commission. There's no secret. If we, especially for independent agents like us, if you enroll into something, we will make a commission by the insurance company. But a lot of times we turn people away as far as saying, no, you need to stay where you're at.
Right.
You should not be changing your health plan. Or maybe I've been running into so many situations right now, especially coming off of the annual enrollment and
Yep.
OEP, where people are like, Victoria, I went from this company to that company, and now I went to the pharmacy and I'm having to pay $400 for my Eliquis. I'm like, well, wait a minute, what happened here? What's going on?
And that's one prescription that not all of the plans accept.
Yes. And so when you guys are looking at changing your plan, and we went over this last week, so if you can go back and watch that video, but I'm just going to say it right now. If you're going to be changing your plan, you need to be look at your medications. You need to be checking all your specialists. You need to check all your doctors. You need to make sure that you don't have any upcoming procedures coming up.
Yep.
Because if
referrals.
Referrals. So if you're on an HMO plan and you move to another HMO and you have the scheduled surgery, chances are something, you might have to get that
start all over again.
Yeah. So you don't take changing your plan lightly, but also don't have so much fear where you're like, no.
Right.
Because you keep yourself you don't better your situation by staying on a plan that's not good for you. But we see it a lot because agents are not educating the client enough. They're just, oh yeah, this one looks better, offers you more dental and vision and transportation. Let's put you on this one instead. And they're not really looking at the fact find. They're not looking at the doctors, the medications, the specialists. They're not asking those extra questions.
Right. And that's the thing with some of the plans. I'm at HEB on Thursdays at Austin Highway. Stop by and say hello. And I get a lot of people going by and they'll tell me what plans. And a lot of times I tell them what you have is the best. If you move, because they tell me, well, I see on television that I get this and that's like, right. But who's your doctor? And once they tell me what clinic they go to, I'll tell them, I'm sorry, but that clinic only accepts that plan. If you move, you're going to lose your doctor. They're like, oh, okay. They'll walk away because they're thinking, I want to get all this free stuff. And the free stuff is great. A lot of them get, over the counter, the dental and all that. And that's great that they get that. But to me, what's more important is keeping them with their doctors because they don't see that. They're just looking at, I'm going to get all this free stuff, but they're going to lose their doctor, the prescriptions.
Yeah.
They're going to lose some of that. They're going to start paying top dollar.
Well, what I feel, and this is kind of my gripe about Medicare Advantage. I mean, again, we offer everything, right? And there's a solution for everybody. But my gripe a little bit is that because they're all-in-one plans and they do offer all of these extra benefits, like the dental, the vision, you're even getting groceries in some of these plans, over the counter, personal emergency response system, you're getting all these things. But my one gripe is that people forget that this is a health plan. Right.
And that's what I tell them. I realize all of this is great, but to me, what's more important is the medical part. How much you're going to pay if you go in the hospital? How much are you going to pay for your MRIs and CAT scans? If you have a stroke and they put you in a rehabilitation for a couple of months, how much are you going to pay?
Yeah.
To me, that is the most important.
Yeah.
Everything else is gravy. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you get it, and that's great. But to me, the medical part is what's really the core of the plan. And that's what people really need to look at.
Yeah.
And they don't. And next thing you know, I was at one of my clinics 2 weeks ago, and a client had an appointment, and she got up there and somebody had moved her, and they're like, well, we can't see you. So it was February the 2nd or the 3rd. So we ended up moving her back to her original plan, but it was not going to be effective till March the 1st. So that was a whole month with another plan. She didn't even realize what plan she had because they called her on the phone and they moved her because they told her her prescriptions were going to be less expensive. And she's thinking, okay. And she swore. I asked them if I could keep my doctor, and they said yes. It's like,
yeah, nope. I mean, there's a lot more, like we see it all the time, and I get it. Like we can't disregard how important your dental health is, and we can't disregard other things. But at the end of the day, like you said, it is the core of the plan. So you can't dismiss that this is a health plan, and this is not extra benefits. No, all those are added benefits.
Right.
All we're asking is don't make your final decision specifically on one little benefit within the plan. I mean, we have to look at your whole situation and make sure that everything's fitting, you know?
Right.
And so with that being said, going back to like, when can they enroll in these plans? You know, sometimes people think, oh, I'll just get on this one and I'll change it in June or July.
Mhm.
Well, you can't just change your plan anytime in the year.
Especially if you have Medicare and Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
So they're called duals,
Mhm.
Medi-Medis. Those are people that have Medicare and Medicaid.
Yep.
So it used to be that they could move any time of the year. Remember
Mhm.
a couple of years ago, they were
Mhm.
allowed, they could go to one plan and then the following month move, then the following
Mhm.
month move. Well, Medicare said, no, no, no.
Mhm.
So Medicare does not, allows them only to move every quarter.
Uh-huh.
And so they can move again in, October.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they move accidentally, they're not going to be able to move again till July, which means that's 3 months of having a new doctor,
Mm-hmm.
new pharmacist, new everything all over again, starting all over again. So they have to be careful. Yes, a lot of times people think, oh, I can move. I have Medicaid. No, not anymore.
Yeah, once
You
a
know,
quarter.
It's once a quarter. And then again, if you move, you might not stay with a doctor.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, we're just trying to tell you guys that are listening, if you're on Medicare, just always get with your agent. If you're not, you know, if you don't have one and you need help, you can call us, but get with your agent and just make sure that, you know, if you're looking to make a change, get with them first, you know, and so make sure that you're asking all of those questions. It's okay to ask a lot of questions.
It is.
It's okay to ask a lot. Don't feel like you're being a pain in the butt.
I'd rather have people ask questions and walk away than sign somebody.
Mhm.
And then in a month or so, they move or
Mhm.
call me and say, no, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I really try not to do that because first of all, we get charged back. So
Mhm.
these people that are just moving people left and right, I don't see how they can do that. You know, it
Mm-mm.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
I want to sign somebody and I want to make sure that they're going to be my clients.
Yep.
You know,
They're gonna
that
they're
going
gonna
to stay.
Yeah, that's the whole goal of you know, as business owners, we're looking for clients for a long-term relationship. And with that being said, if we're doing a great job in the beginning, you know, less customer service issues, right? We don't
Right.
want you to run into issues because that's not good for any of us. Or
Right.
that's not good for the agent that you work with either. We don't like to get text messages on a Sunday saying, hey, I'm at HEB and I can't fill my medication.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like,
And it does happen, you know? And so always talk to your agent. You need to have that relationship
mhm.
with your agent.
And if you're in a state, if you're listening and you're in a state that we don't work in, because we try to work in as many states as we can, but there are some states we don't work in. We have agent friends across the nation.
Right.
And that's why I try to make friends everywhere, because in that one time I can't help them, I can trust this person to take care of you. And so if we can't help you, we can get you to somebody that can. So that's there's no question there. Cause I know some of my YouTube followers and some people that are listening, you know, in other states, you know, they might have these same questions. And some of the rules in every state are different based on, like, for the low income plans we were
Right.
talking about.
Mhm.
But you know, all we're asking is when you're making changes, just understand that you just can't change your plan every
Right.
year, right?
And what you just said, every state is different. So if you're moving from another state to
Mhm.
Texas,
Mhm.
you have to requalify again for these extra benefits.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. So I have a lot of clients that have moved from California and they were getting help.
Yeah.
In California,
Uh-huh.
and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to come to San Antonio or to Texas and everything's going to be the same. I already have my Medicare and I'm getting help.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for anything over there, or I was, whatever the situation. And now they have to start all over again. I had one of my clients wanting to move to Seattle. And so he called me and he wanted to, if I move over there, what do I do? So I checked their low income because he's full Medicaid here.
Uh-huh.
And over there, it was higher.
Mhm.
So moving over there, he was not going to qualify for Medicaid
Mhm.
by like $200. I think it was $198 or something like that. And so he decided not to because he's getting everything. You know, he's low income.
Mhm.
He needs all the help he can get. He was just in the hospital, had major surgery on his back. And so he wants to move up there with family, but he has to look at, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with my family, but I'm going to lose all of this. I'm going to
Yeah.
have to start paying for
That's so
for a
sad
lot
that
of-
you have to
yes.
choose, you know, like I mean, man, my health or my family, that
Exactly.
sucks.
So now he's here. He doesn't have any family here, but he's got a lot of friends and everything. He's living in a low income apartment. So
Mhm.
moving over there, he wasn't going to qualify for those low income. So it's crazy. So things like that, people have to, you know, if you're not sure, give us a call. If you're in another state and you want to move over here and you want to see, will I qualify for benefits in Texas?
Mhm.
You know, or even if you're moving out of Texas, because I go in there and I check and, you know,
But
call and stuff.
Texas is the best of the 50 nifty United States.
Did you just make that up?
No, I learned that in kindergarten. I think that's how I learned all my states.
Really? Okay.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho. Oh no, I missed it. Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming.
Okay, you're gonna have to do that every show now.
Oh,
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Well, you got me a venti. I normally drink grande, so
We're
you know
we're really hyper right now.
Oh, if I
Oh.
miss the state, let me know.
Sorry. Sorry. Monday's Victoria's birthday.
Oh God, please. No.
So we have to remind everybody. You have to call her. What's your phone number?
I ain't giving my phone number out. Shoot. That's why I had to change my phone number on my Facebook page.
They were calling you, crank calling
Guys,
you.
you know, I love helping my seniors, but man alive, I mean, what I don't love sometimes is we get, you know, as agents, we get those calls, you know, at like, you'll be surprised, 12 a.m. on a Sunday, you know, and, you know, so we have a business line.
Yes, we have a business line. But just like people call and they'll tell me, can you get the insurance companies to stop calling me?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could get them to stop calling me because they call all the time.
Man.
And I block them all. You know, you can go in there and block them, but it doesn't matter because they'll another call. So what I've been doing is when they call me, I do the old flipperoo. And I try to sell them insurance, and then they get all confused.
I like it.
What? I'm like, yes. And how old are you? And do you think you qualify for Medicaid? And so I do the whole spill on them, and then they just hang up on me.
The old flipperoony.
The old flipperoony.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hey, that's good for agents that are listening that, or even if you're listening and you're like in sales or any type of, you know, that's good practice, role play.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Flip it on them, especially with those the car warranty people are normally like the robocalls, you know what I mean? But the other ones, hey, might as well use that as practice.
Yep. That's how when I started selling insurance, every time we used to have
oh God,
every time we had a family event, I would have a
were you
sales meeting.
Were you one of those like MLM marketers that would try to, or what's that called? Like network. It's like invite everybody over to your house and then, oh yeah, come have dinner and wine. And then by the way, today I'm offering.
No,
oh my God.
But every time we had a get together, I would do my spill Every time everybody be like, "Oh no, here we come again." I was working for
right here.
Yes, I was working for WellMed.
Oh, okay.
And so we used to do not sales meetings. We used to do like open house, and we would talk about the clinic and what they offer, this and that. And so I used to do it all the time. I used to make them sit there and listen to me.
Man, here comes Sylvia.
I
Here
know.
comes
Look away, look away.
Don't look, don't make eye contact. Or when you go to the mall, and well, not to hate on the mall and people that are working really, really hard, but when you work in the mall, the kiosk, and they're like,
"Oh my God.
Hello. It's like, geez whiz.
Or the perfume.
Anyway, we got way off track.
I know. Okay.
Going over the 50 states, going over all this stuff. Long story short, if you're on Medicare and you need to change your plan, there may be, there's these special times where you would have to see if you qualify. Let's talk about the main one. Right now, people are turning 65. People are, or maybe not turning 65. Maybe they're already 65 and they're maybe they're leaving their group insurance plan. What are let's look at a scenario, somebody leaving their group insurance plan. And let's say they come to you this month, and, if they come to you this month and they're leaving and it's going to end at the end of this month, can they get into a plan?
They have to. Well, it all depends if they have the Medicare Part B. So remember last week or the week before, we talked about people that were still working and had not picked up the Part B because they had credible coverage through their employer.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you didn't watch last week, go back and re-listen to them. They're on the YouTube channel. If you go to Victoria Cabrera Medicare or type in the Medicare Space, you can subscribe and you get to rewatch those videos. So, or just join us every Friday live at 10 a.m. or you can go to our Facebook and rewatch them. But make sure you rewatch them because we usually refer back to a lot of the previous times that we've talked. But anyway, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
So let's say me. If I had credible coverage and by the end of the month, I'm going to lose it because I'm going to quit working.
Yeah.
And all I have is the Part A. I'm going to have to send those 2 forms. I'm going to have to fill them out.
That we went over last week.
We went over, one to the employee and one just for myself that I have to fill out. Okay.
The employer.
That I'm going to have to send out to. But if I have the Part B, and because some people might have the Part B and they have credible coverage, and then if I'm losing that, I can pick up a plan.
Yeah.
I can call an insurance agent. I can call myself, and I'll have 2 months.
63-day window. Yes.
Yeah, to pick up a plan. And make sure, because a lot of times people procrastinate and they wait too long to pick up a plan, or they're thinking, 1 month. And then next thing you know, we're already in April. That's how fast time flies.
Yeah.
And they've called me and it's like, I'm sorry, but you've lost that window of opportunity and you don't have a chronic condition and you're not in low income. And so now they're just stuck with Medicare.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame, but it does happen. So make sure that if you're losing or you're quitting your job and you're losing your insurance, make sure you speak to somebody with enough time.
And don't be like me. Okay. I'm a procrastinator to the max. Okay. I like to put, I still get stuff done, people. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I am a procrastinator. So don't be like Victoria.
Yeah, don't be like me
on
either.
this stuff. Okay, because this stuff is very, very important. Okay,
my taxes.
Oh God, don't talk about that. The good
I
old
hope my
IRS.
accountant isn't looking at me. I haven't sent him all my paperwork.
If you are our CPA or an accountant, go ahead and get off this call right now.
Because I promise I'll send you my 1099 today.
If you guys, for those of you guys that are watching and you have questions, if you're an agent, if you're somebody, if you're maybe a person on Medicare, or maybe you take care of somebody that is on Medicare and you have some questions, be sure to ask your questions. This is what the live shows are for. As much as me and Sylvia love to talk and chit chat and laugh and do whatever we do, we want to answer your questions or give us feedback. What do you think? Should we keep these live shows going? And I just want to point out, my mom is listening and she puts good morning peeps, right? Now I know where I get that peeps
from your mom.
From my mom. That's why I say good morning peeps. So if you guys have questions or share this show, we want as much people in San Antonio, Texas, and anywhere you're at to listen into us every Friday morning at 10 a.m. We're going to start having guests on, whether it's in person or whether it's, on the screen here. So if you are somebody that's listening that has value to add to our seniors, or maybe you are in the insurance world and you want to add value to our seniors, please text me, call me. I didn't, if you know me, you'll have my cell phone, but you can always message me on Facebook. We want to talk to you guys. Like I said, we're going to be bringing information about Medicare, resources that are available, anything new that we learn. We want to bring information to our senior community, whether you just don't even have to be on Medicare. Any questions that you have, we'll try to answer. And like I said, we don't know everything about everything, but we will definitely we know people. We know
people that know everything.
We know people that know.
But going back to people that are quitting their job, I just had a call last week. This week, what are we? Yes, this week. She's turning 65 in May.
Okay.
And she still hasn't gotten her card. And so she's thinking, what am I going to do? I'm turning 65. And so it's coming. So she called me and I was able to check and verify because she kept telling me, I don't think I'm going to get it. I don't know if I have my quarters. I worked a little bit, but my husband has Medicare. What's going on? She was all freaking out and everything. And she called me and I was able to call one of my sources, and she does have Medicare. It will be effective May the 1st.
Okay.
I was able to get her Medicare number and everything. And so I'll be able to sign her next week, effective May the 1st. So if you're turning 65 and you still haven't received your Medicare card and you're not sure if you're going to get it or if it's going to be effective, give me a call, 210-878-9534. I will,
helping people.
I will check on my sources and I will find out. Because by now, a month before, we can check and see if it's already effective. And if it's not, then there's a problem. And then we'll need to address it early enough. So when you do turn 65, you've got your Medicare card. And a lot of times, my God, I had to stack this. So what I do, going back to the procrastination, I get my mail.
You're worse than me.
I get my mail and I'll look at like mail that I really need to open, and everything else I put on the side and I move from here to there.
Especially if it's the IRS.
So I had a stack literally about this big, and it was all junk mail.
Yeah.
So I kept telling her, have you looked in the mail? And she told me straight out, she goes, I throw everything away.
Oh, yeah.
I'm no, you can't. She goes, unless it's CPS or the water bill, because those are the only two bills she has. She goes, I throw everything away. I go, well, you probably got your Medicare card and you threw it away. So I realized that we get a lot of junk mail and it's so easy to pick it up and throw it away. But if you're turning 65 and you're waiting for your Medicare card, pause. For a moment and look at that. If it's from Social Security, Medicare, open. If it's from the IRS, open that up too. But if it's from everything else, and she was under the assumption that she was going to be automatically put into an insurance.
Well, yeah, because, if you with certain situations, you are automatically opted into a Part D program in certain situations, especially if you're on Medicare, Medicaid. But yeah, that's a good one because there's just so much information out there. And then you guys know, we get mail, even for me. I'm like,
mails, calls.
Oh, what the heck? This looks important. It has my bank name on it. And it's just like, oh, wait, that's just the spam mail, right?
Yes.
So give a shout out to Steph Garza. She says, good morning, Mama. I'm assuming that's your mom.
My babies.
You guys are doing great. Hey, if you guys are listening in, put a little comment, like wave, put a little thumbs up if you're there. So that way we know you're listening. We can't see who's watching us, but the more you guys comment, share, the more that this reaches out to more of our seniors and anybody that wants to listen. Actually, this show is evolving into just stuff that we talk about. But, if they lower the Medicare age, we'll be reaching a broader audience, right? We won't talk about that right now because we just don't know what's going on fully yet. But if they do that, I mean, there's going to be a bigger, broader audience that we need to reach regarding these. And with changes comes a lot of confusion. So we always have to stay on top of things. If you guys have questions, please put it in the comments, share, like everything that, that we just want to get information out to people. And we like talking and chit-chatting.
We like talking.
We really do it for us because this is our one time that we get
we'd be here talking anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're talking about changes and stuff. So I also heard that one of the other changes, the FEMA.
Oh yeah. So the FEMA, if you're in Texas, and the FEMA SEP, which is, if we had the freeze, right? And they put some with certain companies, certain specific carriers, they put in where you can change your plan. If you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, you still have an opportunity to change if you got affected by the some of the weather disaster areas in Texas. It might apply to other states too. We're specifically in Louisiana
on some of the tornadoes and flooding and things like that. So every state is different. And so don't assume that, I already signed, I missed my opportunity. There are special enrollments out there, not just with Medicare, but other situations like the FEMA thing, that you might be able to move insurance.
Yeah. So don't rule that out is what we're saying.
And counties.
Yes.
County
specific.
There's some counties that were affected more than others that they're giving a special enrollment period, So just because you're out there doesn't mean that, I'm stuck with what I have or I don't have anything and I'm stuck. So
we have a good question here. It just came in. It says, how soon before retirement date do I sign up for Medicare? How do I sign up? And I want to make sure I'm covered before my retirement date. So do you want to take that one or do you want me to take that one?
Well, we need to make sure if they haven't applied for the Part B, they have to get the 2 forms.
Okay.
I can email them to them or mail them to them, or we can tell them the 2 forms that they need to submit. One of them they will have to take to their employer because they will have to fill it out.
Okay.
The other one they have to sign, and they have to make sure that they put down on that paper when they want it to be effective.
Now, this could go either way too, because they said, how soon before retirement date should I sign up for Medicare? So we're assuming when people say they're retiring, if you're turning 65, that's a different story, and you're going to draw Social Security.
That's the
big one. So
that's the big one.
It doesn't say their name, so I don't. It just says Facebook user. But if you're listening right now, you can call Sylvia here. But the long story short, if you're going to be retiring, if you're drawing Social Security, okay, typically, okay, so they're 66.
Okay, so then they probably didn't.
If you hadn't enrolled into Medicare Part B yet, then you will need to fill out the CMS 40B form along with the employment verification form that you would have to give to your employer. And then, like Sylvia said, you want to make sure that when you fill out that CMS 40B form, which we have those forms for you, so I know all these little acronyms are sounding confusing, that you put the specific, they're not drawing Social Security. So see, that's
another one. That's another one because yes, he can pick up the Part B, send in the paperwork, the 2 forms, but he also needs to communicate with Medicare, Social Security, how he's going to pay for the Part B.
He or she, we don't know if it's he or she.
Okay.
So he or she.
He or she. They want to know who's going to pay for the Medicare.
Yep.
And so aside from the 2 forms, he's going to have to let them know. Either he might want to start picking up Social Security. He might want to wait till he's 68 or 70. But if he doesn't want to pick up Social Security and he wants to pick up the Part B, he will have to let them know, I'm going to pay for it out of my, send me a monthly bill or for 3 months or out of my credit card, my drafted out of my account, however he wants. Those are 3 very important things that he has to do before he picks up. And if he's going to, I always recommend people start doing it 3 months before, because I have to send, one of my clients called me. I went and I dropped him 2 forms to give to his employer. He lost one of them. He gave the other one to his employer and they can't find it.
Okay.
So I went back the last time I was here to go drop another one. So things happen, you know, don't wait till the last minute. I tell people 3 months. Start getting the paperwork, start taking them to the employer, because sometimes you give them to the employer, they have to send it to their HR or to their insurance department and their employer.
What's your cell phone, Sylvia? So if they're still listening, they can call you, because we're still going to address the how do you sign up, but
210-878-9534.
So if you're listening still, you can call Sylvia 210-878-9534.
9534.
And we'll you can always message us directly on Facebook through Messenger, and we'll get to you. But the second part of that question was, how do I sign up? And there's a couple of ways you can sign up for Medicare, and that's either calling the Social Security Administration, and basically, because a lot of those the depending on where you're at, a lot of the locations are closed, so you have to set an appointment, and then they'll help you fill out those forms. And they'll actually, all they're going to do is probably mail you or fax you those forms. We have those forms we can get you, so you can bypass that call. And then you'll want to get the forms back. Or if you're internet savvy, okay, if you like to do things on the internet, if you go back and look at the last video, we actually walked the Part B portion. We walked you through how to apply through the SSA.gov. Or if you need help, again, navigating through that site will help you. So you can do it online. Or you can do it through the Social Security Administration, and you want to make sure that you get that employment verification form. And I forget the actual
L14 or
I forget the actual number it is. There's so many forms we have to remember. And then they said, I want to make sure that I'm covered before retirement date. So like Sylvia said, you want to start, if you're going to retire, let's just say in June, start the process now. So that way we make sure there's no, you don't want to do it. I had somebody do it. They called me, like, it was literally, I had 5 days. I'm like, there's no way.
Sorry.
Social Security is not that fast. I mean, possibly, but we want to make sure you give it a couple of months before. So call Sylvia, 210-878-9534. 9534. Great question. Thank you so much for your question. That was awesome.
And if they send the paperwork, keep a copy. Always keep a copy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, and that's why I say always 3 months, is because numerous times they've sent the paperwork and they call a month later and they still haven't received it, or they don't know where it is and they have to resend the paperwork again. It's easier if they do it online.
Yeah.
But if you're going to send it or if you're going to fax it, make sure you keep a copy.
And if you have live questions and you want to call, my cell phone, I'm always reluctant to put myself, but we can, if you call Sylvia, oh, you don't have your phone. Darn it.
My phone.
She always forgets her phone. We're going to be taking live calls here soon. So if you guys have questions for next week, be sure to join in Friday at 10 a.m. This gives you enough time to have your questions ready, have a pen and paper in front of you so you can write it down. You can call in and we'll plug you right in and everybody can hear you. So make sure, nobody's going to be able to see you, but they can hear your question. So it's like you're calling into the radio. Okay.
Yes.
So next week, what we're going to do is, let's do this. You want to do like a raffle next week?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're listening, we can't see who's listening, but if you're listening, what do you want to give away next week?
One of the doctors was going to give me a gift basket. So I'll go and
I'll pick it up. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to go pick that up, and maybe,
I want to give something cool, like maybe like a Keurig or something. I don't know. Something cool.
Something cool. Okay.
We're
going to give something. We'll give 2 things then.
We'll give 2 things. We'll announce it during the week, next week. So be sure to share it. We'll kind of let you guys know, what it's going to be, or maybe we should just keep it a surprise to keep that little,
to
keep that anticipation.
Do one of those little,
which one?
This one? Noise.
No. Oh, this one? I don't have that, Sylvia. I'm not. No, I only have like 6 little buttons.
If somebody can help me with the, that's too sad.
Well, what we want to do is, like I said, we want to provide you guys value if you're listening by educating you on Medicare. Share the show, okay?
Share.
We like to do fun things. We're going to start bringing in more people to talk about a variety.
And if they have ideas,
if you guys have ideas at what things that you want to talk about, let us know.
and if with things opening up right now, if you know of a senior center or activity place that is opening up again, I know that actually I was looking at my email. I was waiting for the Thousand Oaks Senior Center because it's still closed.
Okay.
So they're only doing the food bank there. And so we're waiting right now to find out when they're going to open. So if you know of something opening, please call me. Let us know.
Yeah.
When things are going to open, or if you're not sure, if you want to know when something's going to be open, or where to go for, everybody's asking about where to go for the shots, and it's kind of hard right now. It's kind of, you'll have to continue calling the 311.
I love you, Shirley. If you're listening, she says, if anybody has question, don't be hesitant to call Victoria. She's your girl. She's extremely helpful. She's taking care of my whole family. I love her. I love you too, Shirley. We love all your family. And I'm sure people that are watching on Sylvia's page, give Sylvia some love too. Thank you guys for listening. This is a community, right? And so I think with everything that's going on, we really want to build on the community.
Right.
And so we need your help for the people that are listening. If you're in San Antonio, Corpus, it doesn't matter where you're at, Austin, Texas, anywhere in Texas, anywhere, wherever you're listening, we'd love to hear, like Sylvia said, if you're in an area and you feel like there's stuff that's opening up for our seniors again, because you got to understand, guys, our seniors, as a lot of them were so used to going to the senior centers, going to the events, going to, mingling with their friends and family. And so to take all that away so quick, it was really hard, right? We were running to a lot of customers that would call us really tough conversations. But now that things are opening back up and, with things that are a little, safety protocols and stuff, there are things that are slowly opening back up. And if you know of anything that's opening back up or resources that people could tap into, let us know in the comments, share it, because we can then provide that information. So it becomes this community where we're all providing value, not just talking about Medicare. And, it can get a little boring sometimes. We know. We try to make it fun. Next week, we'll have Sylvia sing a little number for us.
Oh, yeah.
Little Tina Turner number or something.
You're going to want to hear me sing. All right. No way.
So, we appreciate you guys listening. And every Friday morning, 10 a.m. We're going to make this an everyday thing. If one of us
tired or not.
We were tired this morning. I'll tell you that.
Last week I didn't come. I had a little incident.
Oh, can you tell us about your incident? Come on.
I've had the worst luck. I need somebody to go and sage my house or something. Last Tuesday, I was at home and I walked outside to see how full my rain barrel was. And because it had rained the night before, and there was pollen everywhere. And I was touching the pollen and moving stuff around in my backyard. And I got some in my eye. And I felt like if I had about 100 jalapenos rubbing in my eye, I was freaking out. It was so painful. Then I couldn't find my phone. So I was able to find my phone. I was like this, and I would run to put water in my eye. It was horrible. I finally called my daughter and she went and she took me to the emergency, and they dimmed my eye, which was great, but I couldn't see for like 2-3 days. So I laid down, they gave me these little glasses, and I listened to Grey's Anatomy for like 3 days because I couldn't see.
That's the worst thing.
It was the worst thing. It's horrible. My sympathy for those people that can't see.
Oh my God.
We work with the lighthouse. I mean, it's horrible. You don't realize how important it is, until something like that happens. I was afraid. I was scared.
If you're listening right now, as long as you're not driving or operating any heavy machinery or knives or anything, close your eyes really quick. Just close them for about 10 seconds. Okay.
And look for your phone.
And try to look for your phone.
And that was me. I was like this. I was opening one eye, and then it was killing me. So I'd run to the bathroom to splash water on me. And so I finally found it. And of course, I'm always losing the phone and the remote control, right? That's everybody. So, and that's why I wasn't here last Friday, because it was all swollen. All around my eye. It was just
drive.
crazy. It was just crazy. So I just stayed home, lying down.
We don't take, we need to be grateful for, the things that we have,
for
just
health.
Being able to sit down and at dinner with you guys, it just makes you, take time to be, right now, we're coming up on an Easter weekend for those of you that, celebrate, take time this week to just be present. If you're going to be with your family or friends, or maybe you just need alone time, be present in that moment, because we do take for granted a lot of,
right. We do.
The sight is not a small thing. It's
not
a big thing, but we forget that having our hearing, our vision, our smell, our taste, our, our health, we take those things for granted. So we just need to, like take a moment to be appreciative.
Yes. Be grateful for our health and our family and our friends. And
yeah.
But
Shirley's saying, I couldn't find it because I don't remember where I left it.
Her phone. I know. I ran out of the house and I'm driving over here and I realized I forgot my phone. And then you're driving and you realize, okay, should I turn back? How far have I gone?
Mm-hmm.
And the further away I was getting from my house, the more I started realizing I'm not going to go back. So I don't have my phone.
So long story short, Sylvia couldn't be here last week.
But we'll be here. Hopefully,
we're going to do our best to be here every Friday at 10 a.m. Even depending on, if a Friday falls on a holiday, we'll see. We'll try to, at least I'll try to get on live for a little bit, or if we're together. But, try to join us every Friday at 10. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Facebook Live, whether you're on our personal page, the Medicare Space business page, Silvio Toscano's business page, and also the Medicare Space group. Facebook group. If you haven't joined, then you can join there. But like I said, we talked about today, just to recap, we talked about people that are currently in a plan or not on a plan, and whether or not you can get changed, and what specific time of the year you can change plans if you can. And so what we ask you to do is don't make that determination for yourself. Always call a professional. Always get with your agent or get with somebody that that deals with Medicare specifically. So that way you don't always rule out these things by yourself, because we might know something that you guys are not really familiar with, or maybe, I don't know. I mean, we'll try to find a way to help you.
We always find a way. We'll call. There's so many resources out there, and we communicate with them. Mm-hmm, so if you're not sure, like the gentleman or the lady, always call and ask.
Yep. And that's what we do. We just help. We try to help.
And do it early enough.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the last minute. Don't be like us.
Yeah. We procrastinate. I need to work on that. That's going to be something I'm going to work on.
Okay.
I keep saying that since I can remember. But guys, we are coming up to our hour. It is 11:02.
I know, the time flew.
Time flew today because we were singing the 50 states, and Sylvia's going to sing for us next week.
I'll do something, but it won't be singing. Maybe a little dance or something. Magic trick.
Remember, next week we're going to be doing 2 raffles.
Yes.
How do you want to do the raffles? Do you want to do based on comments? Do you want to do maybe whoever's listening that day comments? Just say hi.
Yeah, maybe
something like that. The comments, because that'll be easier. So again, if you're listening next week, we're going to be live at Friday, whether you're listening in your car or by your, at your home. Make sure that you, when you come on next week, go ahead and just put a thumbs up or tell us that you're there. We'll put you in a drawing.
Yep.
And then we'll go ahead and give away those raffles
at the end of the show.
At the end of the show. Do they have to be present at that time? Nah, right? As long as they show up, and as long as you show up, we understand you can't be on for the whole hour, but as long as you promise to go share it, but just show up, let us know that you're listening in. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the show, we're going to give away the raffle. So if you could catch the last 10 minutes of the show, we're going to put those names in a little jar, and we'll give away those raffles, and we'll see how we can get those to you. If you're not in San Antonio, somehow we'll need to get those to you.
Right.
And maybe if we can't mail a box, we can mail something else as just as good. Okay. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you guys on the next show. We
Next
love you.
Friday.
And we'll see you next
Stay
Friday.
safe. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.